Right, this is video game music on Piano for Scrubs, Streets of Rage 1 title theme. I just came up with this arrangement this morning. Let's play it and then we'll talk about it. Alright, that's my rough and tumble Streets of Rage 1. Couple notes on this. Obviously, this was not meant to be played with two hands on one piano. So kind of per my usual, I tried to figure out what's something, that I can play and kind of distill, keep the bass and the rhythm, in the left hand and combine the melody and the lead synthesizer on this case, in this case, with the right hand. So that's what I did. And kind of another note, there's lots of really cool, and more polished, piano tutorial and synthesia, stuff like that. There's one chord in here that I could not figure out, so I usually like to try to figure these out myself, just as kind of a challenge. There's one thing I couldn't figure out, so I looked at some of the live performances and some of the piano tutorials, and some of the piano tutorials are, overall, correct, but have some incorrect chords, in these, at least, in terms of what the game is playing. So, again, I'm not, the best, piano channel teacher in the world or anything, but, I do my best to try to figure out, exactly what it is, and then, how I can play it, and I'll let you know if there's, a difference. So anyway, obviously this is an A minor, and again, so the first part of this, the bass is just A. So the bass just stays on A, and then I'm combining the synths and the melody with my right hand. And as per usual, the synths usually play, so if the root is A and the chord is A minor, synths are usually playing the third and the fifth. So, this is what the beginning chord is. It's A with a bass, and then C and E with the right hand, but I just play, the full chord, a little arpeggio there. The next chord is G, and this is strange. If you'll see, the performance, it's still the A bass. So this is really close to what it is. But as we see later in the song, the chord progression is a G here. So even though a G is not being played at this beginning part of the song, it's still an implied G chord with an A bass. So for simplicity's sake, I just play the G. I just play the full G chord here. And this is a G chord anyway, with this, when the melody G comes in here, so. Back to A minor. And this is so I just play, it, I'm ready for the G, but I play the E D, because that's the melody. And then it goes up to the B diminished, and then down to an A power chord. So this is the one video I looked at. They say this is a G minor. This is a D minor, but it's definitely not. You have an A bass and a D and an F here, which that does make a D minor, so I guess it's technically not correct, but really the chord is V, D, and F if you like listen to it and kind of see it like perform too. At least that's my takeaway. So back down to A power chord, and so that's the riff that I play. What the bass is actually doing is A and G. So for me, it was like, okay, well, either I play that, do I play it down there? Do I play single notes here, and that's like gonna hurt my hand. So I just came up with I keep the chord progression. I just play the single. I alternate octave here, so A to create the rhythm, down G, and then that A flat G sharp, as you'll see in a minute. So anyway, we're on. Oh yeah, so we're. And then the G chord, followed by an A up here on the melody. So again, the start of that, and again, this is definitely a B diminished. It's definitely not a D minor. At least I'm 99% sure. So, and a B diminished goes. It resolves a lot better, in my opinion, to the A minor, anyway. So. No B diminished here, it just goes right into the main riff. So I'll play it really quick and then we'll talk about this riff. Okay, this is what I could not figure out playing this. So at first I thought this was a D minor, and again, it's the video didn't say this is a D minor. This is me. I thought it was a D minor. It is not. It's an A minor, and then just your pinky changes to an F major, and then this part is definitely. See, remember before I was like, oh, there's not a G being played in that part, but the chord progression is a G major. So to me, it's like it's okay to play, the G major, as a full chord like earlier, as long as you got that A bass still here. That's just two G majors. So again, the bass is doing A to G, and you got another synthesizer kind of in the middle here, and that's what I could not figure out. So I was like, okay, I'm sure about that. I'm sure about G, and then I was like, does the middle note does this go to E? Does it like, where does that go to E? Does that go to F? Like I could not tell. And then I did the one synthesia. This is the thing that I saw on it, and it didn't make sense to me. So I looked at one of the live performances, and I was like, is that right? Because some of this other stuff in the synthesia didn't seem right. And I finally noticed the guy who's playing this riff, he goes into a black key. So I was like, what is that? So I started playing it myself, and I was like, oh, that's the bass riff. Because it just sounds so weird, like otherwise. So, like, you could play this. So you could do that with your right hand if you want to. Like that resolves too, but it just like I'm trying to just keep the rhythm section, with my left hand, and kind of keep the chords and and the musicality, I guess, with my right hand. So. This is how I do it. And again, the bass, even on the G part, the bass still keeps doing this, but just this keeps the essence of the song to me, like something. It's easier for me to play, and I feel like this keeps the tonality of the song, And again, we're arranging this for a piano, which it wasn't written for. So that to me that sounds better than keeping even the A bass. So you can play either one. That's how I figured out this little arrangement. Okay, so again, taking a little more time to explain this because again, it just wasn't written for a piano. So this is the arrangement that I came up with that I hope is helpful. This is the part of the song I was most worried about. I was like, okay, how am I going to keep how am I going to play that with still like the rhythm because it's like challenging for me. So I looked at what chord is happening while that melody is playing, and you can literally just play it with major chords, with triads. I mean, so this is the way that I came up with to play it. So just different chord inversions here, but these are all just basic major and minor triads. So again, I'm going to keep the same bass progression. Same bass progression, but now we're working that melody into our right hand. It's A minor, and I'm not going to play this with rhythm or anything. We'll just play the chords. A minor, F, F. Oops, I go down to G here, and this is a G major. F major, F major, G again, but just the different inversion, and back to G, A minor, F, F, G major, G with that A flat bass, A minor, F, F, and the different version of G, and then we're done. Yeah, so that's what I came up with. It again, it works the melody exactly as it's played, into the chords. So that's always my goal. And then we're back at the beginning. And then don't go to C, A minor. It's just your pinky moves up. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, and obviously, when you're trying to learn stuff on piano, use as many different resources as you can. So I'm not saying pretty much everything that I do on the channel is obviously an arrangement, and I just don't. Usually, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to play something exactly as the chiptune was. They're different instruments, and a lot of times I can't play it, or it's relatively impossible to play on piano the way the game is fitting it out. So this is the arrangement that I came up with. I'm really happy with it, and I really enjoyed taking the time to learn this. Finally, I just looked it up on YouTube today for no particular reason, and yeah, it's just a cool track. So, and if you can think of a way, to use this arrangement to make it a little bit better, let me know. Yeah, because if you watch this channel, you know my playing style, and I don't have all the answers, so I'd like to learn from you as well. So I hope that was helpful. Yeah, feel free to check out my other Sega songs. I just happen to be wearing my new Genesis shirt today that I got from the Sega the Sega shop. Did a big sale, so it's funny that this worked out today. So yeah, again, hope that was helpful. If any of my other videos help you out, great. Take care. This is Chris, Video Game Music on Piano for Scrubs. Have a good one.